What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTubeverse? I am back once again with another little vlog for today. I know I don't normally do vlog back to back, not after I try to do the whole daily vlog thing for a bunch of times in a row. But what I was talking about yesterday about, like being the best you and giving examples about what I done in my past and like where I come from a little bit, not too much. Just talked about like I done goofed a lot. And here I am still standing, and right now with the life of mine, it's gotten to a point where I'm happy with myself. Now, I don't got a bunch of money. Yes, I'm pinching pennies. But I live with a bunch of stinking cool animals, and I have a job I like, and I work with people that I enjoy working with, so where I am now, it is all good, man. Now, I am feeling a little bit odd. I have a headache right now, and my nose is getting a little stuffy, so I'm a little bit nervous about what that might lead to. So I'm not going to do too much throughout today, and probably not too much tomorrow, because I got to focus on getting through my work day first. I am the closing manager. I was closing manager for tonight, and I'm closing manager again for tomorrow. Rorschach. Rorschach's my cat. So if you don't know him, that's this little guy right here. He's coming up to say hi because I've been gone all day, and I kind of gave him his pate, and now he's ready to chill and hang out and run around. Be a scooch, pretty much. He's going to do his normal kitten thing where he's one moment energized and jumping around, and the next moment, he's going to be sleeping and chilling. Yep. He's allowed to do that on this couch. I don't mind if he does scratchies on that. He's got this and the scratchy post over here. It's like that. Haha. Yeah. But he's doing good. He's hanging out. Or he was hanging out. He just did peace out. But to follow up on yesterday's topic a bit more, now that we said hello to Rorschach again and did my somewhat of an intro. My intros are random if they're going to be the proper, hey, welcome back, or welcome if you're new kind of thing. And also, I will say that, and welcome back if you're coming back, welcome if you're brand new. Yeah, this channel is pretty much like this, and then stuff with animals and whatnot. Keep it nice and chill and relaxed kind of a thing. Yeah. But today's little topic is going to kind of piggyback off of yesterday's thing. So, pretty much pushing on, trying to find the best you, trying to push through all the nasty and negative in the world. And I have found a constant theme with a lot of people that keeps them from reaching that point. And it is something that can seem silly once you get past it, but until you do, it's a mountain to climb. So, big thing is don't worry about people's material things, when you're comparing yourself to somebody else. When you're comparing yourself to someone, you shouldn't do too heavily anyway. What you should be looking at is the actions of people and so on, and see what kind of crowd reaction that gets back, whether it seems to be good or bad, whether it's deemed ill or improper, or rather good and, miraculous. So that's really what I feel like we should be comparing. We should be comparing ourselves to people in current or in history that have done great things and see what those great things entailed and how it helped people or not, because there have been great things that have been bad. There have been great things that have been good. Great things just mean something in a grandiose scale. It doesn't mean great as in, hey, that's awesome, because bad stuff's happened in a great scale that is not awesome. But I think that's something, if you were to try to compare anything about, it's something like that, get life lessons from the stories and other people's, being what they are, I guess. Or you can learn a lot from the news, for example, because the whole thing with, I'm not going to draw attention to it too much by saying names and stuff, but the whole thing where the snatching at the ball game and stuff, like the person taking the baseball from the kid essentially, and then the other time with the hat with the other kid, that kind of stuff. That's, you saw what that done did. Like, their lives were ruined off of being complete jerks. So look at that kind of stuff to judge, and then build yourself off of that. If you have made mistakes and you've really messed up, then you got to start changing to fix them, repenting, doing your best you can to make up for when you were wrong. Because that is definitely where I'm at in my life. I'm still making up for all the goofs I've done half a decade ago, kind of a thing. I'm working hard, working really hard to fix that up. And because of that, I've been on this path and learning new things. But one of the big things I've always had not much trouble with is I don't get jealous when someone has more money than me. I'm not worried about what somebody's wearing compared to what I'm wearing. If you catch me on the streets, man, I'm wearing pajama pants and hemp sandals. I always got me one of my little caps, man. And then usually some sort of graphic tee with a nerdy graphic tee with like a Pokemon or something on it, man. My style ain't stylish. And I don't like stylish. So for me to say, I'm not going to compare what I have on to someone else is easy. But for someone who really is excited about fashion and into fashion, for those who are passionate about stuff like that, passionate about the threads and things, that's harder. And for the people who are passionate about making money and doing good for themselves and wanting to be somewhere in life, it's hard to be happy when you're looking at someone who's got so much more than you. Even people who are rich, I kind of find they're like competing over who has more riches than the other person, which is silly because if you have enough to feed your family for generations and have big houses and any kind of car you want, it doesn't matter if someone has more than you or not. You're doing awesome with life. It's just, I find that can be something that brings people down and keeps you from being the best you that we were talking about yesterday. Because you don't have to worry about what someone's talented in compared to you. You don't have to worry about what money they got, what clothes they're wearing compared to you. If you want it and you're passionate about it, find your way to get there. Just because they got it now, don't mean they're going to keep it on the time when you get it, Goes around in circles. If it's something that big to you, excuse me, cluggage. Like I said, drainage in this. Whew, oh, it already sounds much better. Yeah, but don't worry about that stuff. When people with material and things want to act like they're better than you just because they have that. At the end of it, when we all have to move on through life and everything, the best thing to do is to simply not worry about the material stuff. You're not going to take it with you when you die. What you should do is the important thing is what you're going to leave behind. What's your legacy? The amount of money you got is not going to matter because if you don't do anything to, show for it, no one's going to know you had it. And if you do it in a negative way, everyone's going to remember you as that jerk. That Scrooge, in a sense. The person with the money, but was very mean about it, kind of a deal. And I'm being very nice with my words, and I'm pulling a lot of choice things back. So I'm not going to be a nasty person either. You're not going to win fighting Nast with Nast, Best thing to do is just be yourself. There is a reason for you to be on this earth. The fact you're breathing means that there's something important you should do, Even if it's to help someone you don't know you're exactly helping. An honest to goodness smile is something that is genuine, and it can actually save lives. Genuine kindness saves lives because it's rooted from love, and nothing stronger than love. So when judging, if you gotta judge and you feel like you're feeling down because they got so much more than you, don't look at the now. Instead, look at how you're going to do better. Think about how you're going to one-up them. Think about how you're going to get that money. When I say one-upping too, I know that kind of world, business and money and all that, is a dog-eat-dog world. For every loser, there's a winner. They talk about the winners, the ones who get the money, but you don't hear about the losers because it's embarrassing. It hurts feelings. In fact, that is something that also changes lives to the point where it's very negative. in that case. So I don't follow that trend. I don't do all that. It's very cutthroat. It's very nasty. I work hard to do what I do to get what I can to take care of. And these silly friends who are making noises and playing with toys and running around and making it hard to talk sometimes. I found my happiness, man. I ain't got riches. I don't have any designer clothing. Even the stuff around my room is just old school posters and stuff. You know, silly things that I enjoy. And I think in life, find what you enjoy and focus on that. And then from there, when you find where you're at with happiness and everything, your happiness, and it's not going to be guaranteed to last nonstop either. There's going to be times you're going to be sad. There's going to be times where the clouds come in. And that is to appreciate the times where it's sunny even further. Just because you're going through it don't mean you've begotten and forgotten and God has turned his back on you. It's back on you. The love and the light, the good Lord above works weird, dude. It works so weird. And I don't even know how it works. There are times when I felt like I hit that rock bottom, and I probably did. I was a hop, skip, and a jump and away, and from an early grave in some cases, unfortunately. I don't know how I woke up some mornings. A couple bad choices from a rainbow road, we should say. However, here I am, and the only thing I can think of is the best way to help people, like I've always wanted, even when I was at my worst and couldn't help people, is to tell this story some and give you ideas of guys, of what I've learned, you guys, from, not you guys, but you guys, I guess, yeah, but that sentence was weird, sorry. Let me try that again. So what I've learned, I would like to pass on to you guys. And what I've learned is probably not the set in stone thing too. It's a perspective from me, one individual. So compare it to your own and do what you can. But the big story, the big takeaway for today, so we don't get too off track while the cat keeps making noise, is be you. Don't worry about what other people have. You got life. That means you can get more from it. If you breathe, you can do more than just breathe. For example, get water, try to get food. There's always a chance to work towards more. Ow, that's my toes. Ow, he scratched my feet. Oy. Yeah, but it can be a struggle. It can be a grind at times, but it's worth it. And I think those who get what they get through the grind rather than just having it given to them through life, I think they're more rewarded in life and they've learned more. And I feel like those people are more wise. I would rather listen to someone who worked their way hard to get to where they are somewhere in life where they're happy. They might even have riches. And you probably don't hear much about them because they're living their life and working with their community. They're probably famous in their community, but not famous, all around the YouTubes and stuff, or any kind of social media, really. And those people are the true miracle workers out there, the ones who do amazing and are unsung. That, I think, is cool. That's one of the coolest things. And those people don't care about clothes or money either. Somehow they get it. They got it. Why is that? And they got the same stuff than people that just got something given to them. But look at the personalities between the two. So that's the big thing. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to look at anything about yourself to others, look at what you're doing to others around you, kind of a deal, if that makes sense. This cat's going crazy, my friend, so I'm going to go ahead and bounce out. I've been talking for almost 15 minutes. I'm not going to be too much preaching much longer, I guess. The last 2 days, I kind of got my thoughts out on the thing because it's been something that I've been loving and changing about myself, and I'm loving myself more each day as I focus more and more on these kind of ideas. So I hope you guys can get the same from it because you're stinking awesome. And you deserve to be happy with yourself, if anything else. And the only one that can make you happy with yourself is you. So I hope the end of this video inspires you to kind of do that. If I offer any challenge, love yourself more. This way you can pour out to others when the time matters. With that, thank you so much for everything, for the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. I'm seeing it all, guys. You are awesome. With that, have a good one. Be good. Peace out.